Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize the Sacramento Metropolitan Fire District, which recently celebrated its 25th anniversary serving communities in Sacramento and Placer County. On December 1st, 2000, the American River Fire District and the Sacramento County Fire Protection District reorganized to form what we now know as Metro Fire, uniting 16 fire agencies into one force dedicated to protecting our communities. Today, Metro Fire serves more than 720,000 people across 359 square miles. With 41 fire stations and more than 700 dedicated members, they stand ready around the clock to respond to fires, rescues, medical emergencies, and more to save lives and protect property. Their mission says it best: professional and compassionate protection, education, and service to the community. And that commitment isn't just words, it's how they show up every day, often on the hardest day of someone else's life. The teamwork and pride show up in every setting. Last year, Station 26 took first place in the inaugural Hero Act Chili Cook-Off my office hosted at the California State Fair. And I was proud to visit the station to present ribbons to Captain Adam Huckabee and firefighter Taylor Edwards. As we celebrate this milestone, we also have a responsibility to support the men and women who support all of us, especially when it comes to their mental health. That's why I'm continuing to push for passage of my bipartisan HERO Act to extend access to mental health and support for our brave first responders. Thank you, and with that, I yield back.
The gentleman yields. For what purpose does the gentleman from Virginia seek recognition? Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, Charlottesville Hyperbarics has become a front line in the fight for veterans suffering from the invisible wounds of war. They recently launched the Hyperbaric Wellness Foundation and have partnered with the Howe Foundation to provide hyperbaric oxygen therapy to veterans battling PTSD or other traumatic brain injury. Additionally, generous grants from the Department of Veterans Services has allowed them to successfully treat over 59 veterans so far this year. As a Navy SEAL veteran, I have friends that have battled wounds that go deeper than emotion. Advanced imaging now confirms that PTSD is a neurological brain injury. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy using pure oxygen under pressure heals these injuries directly and restores brain health. When I visited the clinic last May, I saw the healing in action. Two of the staff members leading the veterans program are veterans who suffer from PTSD. They went through the program themselves. HBOT changed their lives so completely, they are now dedicated themselves to helping others do the same. We're still losing over 20 veterans a day to suicide, despite exhaustive and costly efforts to stop it. That's not just a tragedy, it's a call to action. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is saving lives and helping veterans rejoin their families, their communities, and the workforce. And with sufficient funding and support, we can expand this model across Virginia and across our country. Our veterans,
The gentleman's time has expired.
deserve a program that can help them. And with that, I yield back.
The gentleman yields. For what purpose does the gentlewoman from Oregon seek recognition? Without objection, the gentlewoman is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to share an excerpt from a letter from a child who was detained at the Dilley ICE facility. My name is Ariana. I'm 14 years old and I'm from Honduras. I've been detained for 45 days. Since I got to this center, all you will feel is sadness and mostly depression. I've been in this country for almost 7 years, and in those 7 years, my mom and I found a home and made a bigger family. I have never been separated from my siblings, and it's honestly sad because they are little and they need their mom and sister. She goes on to say, I haven't been getting any school time. There are various viruses. People are always sick. Serious situations happen and the officers can't take them seriously enough. There are no consequences. They don't care. Mr. Speaker, children are being traumatized by what this administration is doing to them. We must ask ourselves, is this right? Is this moral? Is this the nation we want to be? Thank you, and I yield back.
The gentlewoman yields. For what purpose does the gentleman from Colorado seek recognition?
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent consent to address the House for 1 minute and to revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to celebrate Grace Baptist Church and Pastor Matt Miller for 50 years of gospel service in Colorado's 5th Congressional District. Founded by Dr. Dean Miller's family in 1976 as Cornerstone Baptist Church, for 50 years, this congregation has ministered the hope of the gospel. They've provided Christian education, and they've equipped Christians for ministry and trained the next generation of Bible preachers. Mr. Speaker, I ask that you join me in congratulating Pastor Miller and all who have been there as congregants, and well done to all of the faithful servants at Grace Baptist Church. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back.
The gentleman yields. For what purpose does the gentlewoman from New York seek recognition? Without objection, the gentlewoman is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, in the centennial year of Black History Month, I rise today as just one voice in the continuous and collective effort to celebrate the incomparable Congresswoman Shirley Anita Chisholm to the degree that she deserves. For her legacy of justice and equality in Brooklyn, New York, and America, for the possibilities her very being opened to millions of Black women and girls, for never failing to live her American dream out loud, I am proud to introduce my resolution that will result in a tribute worthy of her character and accomplishments, the permanent placement of her statue in the United States Capitol. In this time of unprecedented attacks on the true story of our country, honoring Shirley Chisholm with a statue in the halls of Congress would signal to the American people that this body is still committed to recognizing the defining figures of our history. We must show future generations that the progress of today is not about to appear, did not appear by accident. It took unrelenting passion, integrity, and dedication. It took leaders like Congresswoman Chisholm, who from her first day to the last remained unbought and unbossed. I believe we have a moral mandate and a real opportunity here, not just to examine racial inequalities that permeate every sector and segment of our society, but the responsibility to reflect on how we got here, right here in these halls. Looking towards the faces in this room with me now, I can say with certainty that Shirley Chisholm's legacy is reflected in myself and the many colleagues of today. With that, Mr. Speaker, I yield back the balance.
The gentlewoman yields. For what purpose does the gentleman from Florida seek recognition? Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate it. As tax filing season begins, important improvements to our tax code are already making a real difference for older Americans. For too long, seniors were treated unfairly, Mr. Speaker, taxed on their Social Security benefits, and left struggling to cover rising costs. That is finally starting to change. This year, a new $6,000 tax exemption for taxpayers aged 65 and older takes effect. Last week, I visited a tax preparation site in Pasco County, Florida, and my constituents confirmed that this provision is helping them. Enacted as part of the Working Families Tax Credit Act, this deduction applies through 2028 and is available whether seniors take the standard deduction or itemized. It will benefit millions of Americans on fixed incomes, providing meaningful relief as costs for housing, healthcare, prescriptions, and groceries continue to rise. But our work is not done, Mr. Speaker. To many seniors, they still see their Social Security benefits taxed. That's why I support legislation to fully exempt Social Security income from federal taxation. Tax policy should reward a lifetime of hard work, Mr. Speaker, not penalize retirement. I yield back.
The gentleman yields. For what purpose does the gentlelady from North Carolina seek recognition?